Speaking to the mic, this is episode 6.
Can you go fuck yourself?
That sounds good.
Alright. That's always the best, is the lead-in when Josh doesn't even know that we're recording and he's being mean to me.
It's never made apparent.
Really?
I don't think so.
You haven't even downloaded an episode yet.
Yes, I have.
Oh, have you listened?
I'm on the, Apple
are you the one who
podcast
oh, okay. I was
app?
gonna say, are you the one who listens to it so much on fucking Spotify?
I listen to it a lot on Apple, but it automatically downloads for it. I set up automatic
Oh, you
downloads.
subscribe to it?
Yeah.
That's good.
So.
Everybody should subscribe to the podcast. I'm assuming we're recording now, right?
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
See, I mean...
See, that's what I mean, when I say it's not always apparent.
That we're recording?
Yeah.
I mean, you should be real at all times. You shouldn't just be mean to me all the time. And then when the mic turns on, you're like, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm the nice one.
I am the nice one. Between the two, you literally said that we should start telling people, in 2 episodes ago, you said that we should start telling people how shitty they are at the things that they invest their time in.
No, that was last time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I still stand by it.
Okay. Which makes you the mean one, is what I'm saying. I'm 100% the nicer guy between the two of us.
Yeah, in public, not in private. I'm just real at all times.
Okay. Whatever you say.
I've been making my own memes lately.
I've seen.
And it's unnecessary.
Because you post it with the caption, I made this.
Yeah.
You should stop.
I'm usually on vitamins at those times.
On vitamins?
Vitamins.
Got it. Okay.
You know, good old vitamin THC. And,
yeah.
I think they're funny because, I don't know, my Pinky and the Brain one was great. And
it was not funny.
Dude, it was so funny. And Ashley got so mad at me. She's like, it looks like shit. And I was like, that's the point, is that it needs to look like shit.
I feel like you frequently, formulate these plans in your mind, assuming that everyone else who sees it is going to react the same way and understand your thought process.
Yeah.
It's supposed to look shitty because it's funny, when most of us just, scrolled past it and we're like, right, just go to bed. It's too late for you to be up. Go to sleep. Once you start doing shit like that, you need to go to bed.
That's fine.
Okay.
But I think, because, I posted one early in the morning yesterday because Support Your Artist Friends 2020 has been one. Yeah, that's that rubs me the wrong way, because it's always the guy who shared it yesterday, he's new and I get it, he's excited because it's all shiny and whatnot that he's an artist or whatever. Yeah. And it was just yeah, you've been doing this for a cup of coffee, you're not an artist friend yet.
A cup of coffee.
Slow your roll.
So old. No one says that.
I do, but keep it. There's a lack of shame in a lot of people. When I first started doing comedy, nobody knew for 2 months. Because I was like, I'm not good at this, because I just started 2 months ago. Okay. So I don't want people to know and come and see me be shitty. Because when I went to Toledo not too long ago, Jimmy and Rose came out, and my sister and her husband came out, and it was the best show that I've done in front of those people, because they had seen me be terrible before, and it's just see, I've gotten better. It's not 4 years ago when I still sucked. And I don't know, I tell people all the time, don't wear out your friend base before you're serious about it and you're actually decent at it, because you'll need them eventually. And all these people are you need to support me, and I'm going to put my clip up here of my latest 5 minutes. You mean your only 5 minutes that you have? Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Okay.
I don't know. I just hate
I feel like you're very passionate about this, and I'm
super passionate.
Very neutral.
What if somebody was hey guys, I just started marketing. Here's my first fucking billboard, and then you're just oh, it's a Microsoft Paint billboard. You wouldn't want them to share their first time. You want them to have a little class first.
I mean, marketing is more of a collaborative field, though, so I feel like that's not the same thing.
Can we get right into this? You asked me if I had if I had listened to the new Eminem CD.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I listened to 2.5 songs. Okay. And it's just, I'm done with Eminem. Okay. I'm about to be 30. I've heard.
Do you think that if this album came out
15 years
4
ago?
years ago.
4 years ago.
Would that be rejuvenating for his career? I agree with you that this is too late. It's 2020. Mm-hmm. But I think that 4 or 5 years ago...
Dude's in his 50s.
he's old.
Yeah. That's the problem with, like, rap music, is, like, we haven't had to deal with old rappers.
Yeah, because they're all, I mean, we kind of do.
I mean, we do now, but, like, we're living through, like, the first old rappers. Like, we grew up with, like, the Beatles already being old and half dead.
Right.
And, like, the Rolling Stones.
Half dead!
I mean, half of them are dead.
Right, I get it.
Yeah, exactly, half. I mean, three-quarters. Paul McCartney's been dead since the 60s, but, that's my favorite conspiracy theory. It was my first one. It's very special. You never forget your first, you know?
That explains a lot.
But, yeah, I don't know. You just see, like, Dr. Dre's old. Eminem, like, fine, whatever. And I like, did you ever listen to Bad vs. Evil or whatever it was? The one with him and Royce da 5'9"?
Yeah, he's on this one, too.
That's why I gave it a shot. I looked and saw who he, like, collaborated with. And I was like, alright, cool. This would have been way more fun 15 years ago.
Okay.
You know?
That's fair.
And it's... He, like, it's off of, like, an Alfred Hitchcock movie or something like that he, like, snagged the thing from. I don't know. I researched it the other day before I listened to it, because when white people get excited about rap albums, you know it's kind of gonna
that's never a good sign.
Right, like when To Pimp a Butterfly came out, Kendrick Lamar's CD that won, like, everything.
Yeah.
You saw maybe 2 white people who were all about it, and it's like one of the best rap albums ever.
Yeah.
And it's just a good time to listen to, and you're like, hey, how about the new Kendrick? And they're like, I don't know. But you hear Eminem on this song, and you're like, that's your one connection to the black excellence that this podcast brings forward. So.
Okay. I was just curious. I just wanted to know what you thought of it.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was good, but like I said, I think it was ill-timed.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
I probably have like 2 songs left, I think. I'm just listening in order. It's not a bad album. It's okay. It's fine. It's very Eminem.
Yeah.
And it's very much so what I would expect from Eminem, just angry screaming for 12 songs deep. But I just think it was ill-timed. I think it could have been a great album 5 years ago, and I will stand by that.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the lines that he says in it, like you said, it's very Eminem, and maybe that's what it is I've just, like, grown out of that being impressive.
Sure.
Like, you're like, oh, I know he's gonna try to rap orange and, like, make it make sense. Or so, you know what I mean? Like, I watched the 60 Minutes. This is alright, I already said I got a cup of coffee. I love 60 Minutes, and I watched the 60 Minutes thing on Eminem, because, like, white rapper from Detroit. 8 Mile was, like, a huge movie when I was growing up.
That was a huge movie. It was a great movie, too.
And, like, being from the Toledo area, everybody wants to be from Detroit over there, like, because it's the closest real city.
Who wants... Go ahead.
But, especially when 8 Mile came out and I was in a suburb of Toledo, you better goddamn believe that every white kid had their fucking hair dyed yellow or tried to. Like he had. It was just, it was rough. There's pictures out there of my hair being orange because my hair was too dark to be, like, bleached like his. It was a thing. So, like, you grow up, like, everybody's an Eminem fan.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, a white rapper. I love rap music. I like white people because I'm one of them. Like, this is perfect. There's a Venn diagram for me.
I feel like becoming a fan of Eminem and then very quickly outgrowing that is like a coming of age in America.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, he for a lot of people, I feel like I know a lot of people who their first introduction to rap was Eminem.
Yeah.
And that's really, really interesting, and it's also very concerning that, like, the basis of what you like and dislike, I firmly believe is a lot of times based on your introduction to something.
Yeah.
And if your intro to rap was Eminem, that's we're already starting in the negatives here.
Yeah, so I mean, I
like Eminem.
I don't dislike old Eminem.
Yeah.
Like, hi kids, do you like violence? Would you like 9 Inch Nails in each one of your eyelids? Like, you hear that beginning, you're like, this is a fucking banger right off the rip. Like, it is a great tune.
Yeah.
And I went from, like, Eminem to Linda buying me D12 World.
Oh my god.
And you're just like, oh, this is like, I don't want to say thug shit, because again, I'm in the suburbs of Toledo, like, listening to this shit. But you're like, oh, this is, like, more gritty, like, more real rap, not, like, white people like this rap.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of just, like, graduate to, like, I don't know, I'm still a huge fan of Jay-Z. Like, you get into, like, more lyrical people with real stories, and then you kind of, like, you find better music. And some people just stick with Eminem because they have, like, that nostalgia thing. And it's like, oh, Eminem came out with a new thing, and it sounds exactly like the same shit from 30 years ago. And we need to calm down a little bit on how excited we are about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's like Joe Biden running for president.
Oh, right. Let's just get on in there.
That's what I shared yesterday. It's 2020. It's an election year. So it's time to start picking on Democrats because they're just like the most fun to make fun of on the internet because they throw a bitch fit about it. Mm-hmm. So I put online yesterday, 2 days ago, I was like, we should have a Bernie Elizabeth Warren ticket so everybody wins. Like, Bernie bros will be excited that he got elected, and then regular Democrats will be excited 10 minutes after he takes the oath when he turns into dust and Elizabeth Warren is president. And like, just like the Bernie, like, you can just tell some like people are just like, oh, he's got integrity, and it's like, all right, here we go. Like, I'm gonna like go in. I was like, integrity has nothing to do with this. Like,
yeah.
I'm just getting them stirred up.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, I put on there, somebody was like, what about, I think Biden, Kamala Harris would be a good one. I was like, I'll vote for the devil instead of Joe Biden. Like, I'll write him in. And somebody was like, well, if it's between Trump and Biden, it's like, I'll just stay home. Like, just trying to, like, piss people off. And they're like, well, women and immigrants would disagree with you. It's like, they shouldn't be allowed to vote anyway. It's like,
oh, my God. You're just the worst.
Just going in. Because it's so funny. Like, it's the same thing as, like, the drunk driving conversation we had last time. It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you make 1 million Facebook posts. You have one vote. You know what I mean? Like, and your vote most of the time doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you don't matter. So congratulations on saving the world through Facebook.
Yeah. That's something.
Nobody's out there knocking on doors. I know the people who are supporting these people. They don't have the $1.75 that Bernie wants them to give them. So they're not. I don't know. Hey, welcome to Classy Dinner Podcast. We didn't intro. We just dove right in.
I feel like they're used to it by now.
Where we don't care about the poor because we are the working poor. At least half of us is.
What?
The other one's a non-working upper middle class.
I work.
I know you work. I mean, but you got soft hands is all I'm trying to say.
I moisturize. That's normal. I have a skincare routine.
I've got soft hands as well. I work at an office. I've always had soft hands though. I don't know why that's like. So when I was growing up, like I worked like summer gigs, like throwing garbage, mowing lawns, stuff like that for the city. And like all these like older dudes who'd worked there forever, like I've got rough, callous hands, and it's like you should wear gloves, boy. Like nobody like.
So that's the thing is that like I very similarly I did a lot of that shit like mowing lawns, like lots of physical labor in my like teens into my early 20s, and my hands are fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've always had soft hands. I'll always have soft hands because I'm not gonna like I don't know. Ladies don't like calloused hands. I mean, maybe they do, but just yeah. Nah, man. Nah. You don't want calluses all over your bits, you know. Doesn't feel good. Get some fucking lotion.
Yeah.
I was in, speaking of lotion, I was in East Palestine last night doing a show for Firefighters, which, what a weird thing to say out loud. And, they told me that they had to, because I asked if they'd ever had to, like, rescue a cat from a tree. And they're like, not a tree, but we had to get a cat out of a recliner once. And I was like, all right, we need to unpack this story a little bit. And so the cat got caught in, like, the bottom part of the recliner.
So they called the fire department?
It's East Palestine, bro. There's 7 people in this entire city.
Okay.
And So they call the fire department, and I was like, how'd you end up getting it out? And they're like, oh, we put KY jelly on it. Like, we lubed it and slid it out. And it's like, so it had to be KY jelly. Like, you couldn't have went to CVS and got, like, off-brand Vaseline. Like, it had to be name brand. And the guy's like, oh, it was warming, too. And I was like, oh, yeah, nobody likes a cold pussy. So, like, it was just like, what a weird story to have in your repertoire.
That's strange. That's strange. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's weird.
What?
So they just have KY jelly on hand?
Apparently. I don't know. I was on stage when it happened, so I was like, this is going to get unfunny real quick. Like you could tell it's just way too serious. Because, 4 or 5 of them were talking about it. So, 5 people went to try to rescue this cat out of a recliner. It's their tax dollars at work.
That's awesome.
I know, it is kind of cool.
That's something.
But firefighters, maybe we should, I don't know a lot of firefighters, but maybe we should start working out a little bit. These guys it's just a bunch of dudes that look like me and worse, so I don't need them trying to carry me out of a building. I need the firefighters that are in the calendars with, suspenders and 6-packs to lift my big ass out of the building.
Your heroes?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
You might feel a roll of coins in my pocket at the same time, but
you're fucking foul. You are so foul.
There's nothing wrong with a sexy firefighter.
Penny roll.
Like a roll of nickels.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Something happened today, and I just want to get your
today,
opinion.
breaking news. Do we have a breaking news sound?
This is. Do we?
No.
I don't know. Okay, if we do, insert here.
And here's Josh.
So you know when you're getting off Route 8?
Yeah.
In Stowe.
My hood.
Your hood. Coming from north.
Which exit? Steele's Corners? Seasons?
Actually,
Graham?
not Stowe, Silver Lake.
Okay.
Right there where there's
on Graham. Yeah.
Where there's the Red Lobster right there.
Cheddar biscuits, bro.
So you know how there's 2 lanes that you can turn left.
Yeah.
So I'm in the far lane, and there's a truck in the lane nearest to the curb.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Right. Light turns green. We both turn.
Did he go in the outside lane?
No.
Okay.
He was not paying attention and started to come over into my lane and almost hit me.
Yeah.
So I wail on my horn. This dude freaks out, whips his truck hardcore left, and slams directly into this woman that was just sitting at the red light minding her business. Okay, I'm talking
And you're here, so you.
So here's
so you didn't stop. And I know that you were coming so this is on the way here right now.
In theory. So here's my point. Here's my point.
Yeah.
If my car was not hit.
Yeah.
And I didn't hit anyone else's car, there was really no reason for me to stop. I was not party to the accident.
Yeah.
I stayed in my lane and everything. And he slammed into this woman, and her bumper went flying through the air, and I was just like, I'm going to leave. 100%. And I left.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
should I have stayed?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, 1, no, because then you would have missed this. So, that the podcast overtakes everything in life. And sorry for that lady, but this is important. R.I.P. All the proceeds from this episode will go to that lady and her bumper.
No.
There's no proceeds, so it doesn't matter.
I just feel like I wasn't legally obligated to stay there.
I think you might be, because you're you were a part of the scene.
How was I a part of the scene? I wasn't in the lane where the accident took place. Yeah. I was not a part of it. I literally just turned. And he slammed into this poor woman who was just sitting there, and I left.
I feel like they probably had it under control.
No one was hurt. They both got out of their vehicles. It would be, it's not like I grabbed his wheel and turned
Where would you park? You know, and that section, there's not a good spot for you to stop. Like, you would end up pulling to the country club.
Exactly.
And then, like, hope the cops come and ask you what happened. Yeah, you probably made the right decision.
Yeah, I'm just, like, I'm definitely not willing to be party to that.
Oh, like, if somebody, like, for instance, say somebody's in your passenger seat, and the person who's driving pulls out in the middle of traffic and then, like, hits a person. And then they decide to call the cops, even though it's just, like, a scuff or whatever. Like, is the person in your passenger seat supposed to, like, make a statement?
I feel like yes, because they're in the car.
Yeah.
I feel like yes, because they're in the car. But, like, that's the thing.
And then they have to, like, talk to the other person's mom. And then, like,
so,
they end up having
so that's the thing, is that, like, this had nothing to do with my vehicle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I refuse to believe that I was obligated to remain at the scene.
Yeah.
And realistically, had he have been paying attention, all he had to do was turn his wheel 2 centimeters to the left, and he would have gotten further away from me. It's not my fault you lost control. I'm just justifying this to myself at this point.
I mean, you scared him. I mean, you should probably write him a sorry note. Like, hope that nobody saw your license plate. That's all that I'm thinking is...
Why?
I don't know. It's like leaving the scene of an accident. Like...
I wasn't... You can't leave the scene of an accident if you're not in the accident.
I guess.
I just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not involved. I'm not involved. I am not party to this.
I almost feel like you probably shouldn't have even brought this up on a recorded thing. Just so everybody's clear, this was recorded on January 12th of 2020. Exactly a week ago from when this is going to be released. Definitely not on the same day that it was released.
I should just call the police station.
I don't think so. Because what are you going to do? Be like, hey, there was an accident on Route 8 in Graham. Are you looking for anybody associated with that accident? Like, is that...
I mean, yeah.
Hi, my name's Joshua Lewis. My address is, my phone number is... I was just wondering.
Just out of my curiosity, y'all need anything? Or is this an open and shut case?
Yeah, is everything good, or...
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to move on from this.
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you would say that on a recorded thing. Like, remember earlier when you're like, this is something that you should text me and say we need to meet up and talk about. Like, that's something that you don't talk about on technology.
I mean...
We just talk about things in theory on technology. So in theory,
if
that situation happened,
I
think you're probably fine. Just don't talk to the police for a while. Just in case, you know.
Do you see any way that this is, like, actually my fault, though?
I mean, you scared the guy a little bit, but I mean, it was his fault, and then you corrected him, and he just overcorrected and hit a woman. I mean, it happens.
Producer Paul. Did I have a legal obligation in this theoretical situation to stop here?
You probably should have. Especially now that you want to call the cops.
Yeah, if you're feeling like you call the cops. Paul's not on microphone. I'm assuming we can pick this up at least a little bit, but he's kind of on team. You probably should have at least said something to him and, like, made sure they were okay.
I didn't hit anyone. I feel like we're missing the main point here, which is that, like...
I didn't rob anybody. I was just the one who held the door open for the bank robber.
That's not the same thing.
But you would still, like, be like, hey, I saw them come in. I didn't know that this was going to happen, but I'm the one who held the door open. I have an angle on this story that might be helpful. So have you been watching The Bachelor?
Real quick, one question. This is my final question, then I'm going to move on from this. In terms of, like, traffic cams.
Ooh.
Is there audio?
I don't know. I did get a traffic cam ticket a couple weeks ago.
I'm fine with that.
No, I'm not. I need to pay it still, but I don't like.
I'm just saying that, like, in theory, if there's no audio and you just watch this entire thing, all you see is like us both turning and then this guy fly left.
That's fine. Then you're in the clear.
I'm in the clear. This has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. So moving on, we're gonna close out this theoretical situation.
Speaking of a car wreck.
Yeah.
Have you been watching The Bachelor?
No.
It's part of your job now.
You already know. No, it's not.
It's 100% part of your job.
Wrong.
Why? It's important. It's important to me. As somebody who's close to me, you should be watching it. And as somebody that, like, you would actually enjoy this season, even without the backstory. Because, so Pilot Pete, he was on the season of The Bachelorette. He didn't get picked. Ended up banging The Bachelorette 4 or 5 times in a windmill. It's been this whole big backstory. So now he's the Bachelor. He's a pilot. He's cool. He's very attractive. He's very, like, nice. But there's 30 bitches in this house. And, like, he cannot remember a single one of them. And it makes me laugh so hard.
That's
every
funny.
time he'll... Because, like, they always try to do something to, like, make him remember them, like, on night one. And, like, he'll be talking to somebody, and she'll be like, so, remember when this happened? And you can just see him racking his memory, and he's just like, I have no idea who you are. And
Jeez.
That's my favorite game of this whole season, is like, is he gonna remember talking to this woman or not?
Jesus.
And it's so funny, because he'll be like this chick had a joke about, like, something about, like, I have a dry sense of humor, but that's the only part of me that's dry, or, like, there's one part of me that's damp, or something like that. Like, it was like a bad wet vagina joke.
Okay.
And so she, like, meets up with, her name's Victoria. She goes up to him at one of the parties, and she's like, so, what did you think of my joke? And, like, he does the, like, I did this when I was selling cars a lot, where, like, they would introduce themselves and say their name, and, like, when you go to, like, type their name in and you don't know it because you don't care, you'd be like, how do you spell your name again? And it's like, my name's Ted. T-E-D. It's like, you're like, so you try to...
Right, okay. Wasn't sure if there was an A.
Yeah,
you know,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, yeah, you know, people throwing random letters in these days. It could have been Theodore, might have been your real name. Like, you just kind of smooth it over.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, yeah, so what was the joke again? And then she'll, like, start it, and he's like, oh, yeah, I loved how you ended it. You wanna end it again for me, too? And then, like, it's just so funny, because he doesn't remember her, and you're like, obviously he's not picking her. So The Bachelor is the most important thing on television right now.
I disagree.
What else is more important on TV?
Literally anything.
No.
I watched the first episode of The New Pope.
The New Pope?
Yeah.
What is that about?
With, what's that dude's name?
Pope.
John Malkovich. And,
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Ooh, I like Jude Law.
Yeah.
They might be coming out with a new Sherlock Holmes movie.
I don't care about that.
What? You didn't like the Sherlock Holmes movies?
No.
I like Robert Downey Jr.
He's okay.
I don't like him doing Dr. Dolittle, though.
I don't think that Robert Downey Jr. is important.
Why?
I just don't think he's that great.
He's Iron
in
Man.
anything he acts in.
Have you seen the Sherlock Holmeses?
The Sherlock Holmeses? Yes.
Okay.
They're not good. I mean, they're not good. I'm going to take that back. They're just not like, okay.
They're entertaining.
I saw it. I'm good.
Yeah, it's just a fun movie.
Oh.
It's a Guy Ritchie movie, so I mean, it's just like, it's a heist movie. It's always a heist movie. All his movies are always heist movies.
Yeah.
But what's the new Pope? I mean, other than it being about the new Pope, like, is it about, like, the real new Pope?
No. It's like some scandalous stuff.
Oh, about, like, rape in the fucking church?
I think so. We're one episode deep, but...
Oh, they don't, like, they bury the lead on that? They don't, like, bring up that it's completely about... Have you seen Spotlight?
Yeah.
Like, that's just a crazy fucking... I don't know how they got away with that for so long, and everybody's just kind of cool with it.
You know, I don't think that anybody's cool with fucking kids unless the people cool with it also fuck kids. But, like...
So, yeah, the Catholic Church, like...
All right, we shouldn't talk about that.
I'm sorry.
About our Holy Mother Church.
I'm Lutheran.
I'm a Lutheran. What is that? What does that even mean?
It's Catholic light. Like, fucking Martin Luther nailed some things up on the
door. I understand that, but I'm saying, like, what does that have to do with...
As far as I know, Lutheran pastors have less time fucking kids than priests.
Yes,
they're allowed to have like wives and shit.
Yes. They just fuck prostitutes, I think.
That's smart. Do you think that priests should have wives if they want them?
That's a huge conversation, and you just very casually asked me that. So I'm going to give you the short answer and say no.
Why?
Okay, so you didn't want a short answer.
No.
Okay. All right. The priesthood is the type of commitment that requires your full love and attention.
Which apparently it doesn't, because if they have enough if they have enough time to fuck kids, they've got enough time to have a wife.
Okay, so the other thing that I want to say that's very important is that like we keep taking this whole like priest fucking kids thing and turning it into the entirety of the clergy of the Roman Catholic Church likes to rape children.
Yeah.
And it's a if you consider like all of the priests in the church, it's like a handful of priests who have been like touching kids.
Yeah, not all cops are bad, but there are bad cops. It's the same fucking argument. Like their name is on a goddamn list. Why didn't they just get rid of those ones? They know who they are.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, they got rid of the last pope because of it.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's a huge part of it.
That is not true at all.
What'd they get rid of him for?
First off, they didn't get rid of him. You can't get rid of the pope. He stepped down.
Okay.
That's not the same thing.
Great. Nixon didn't get impeached. He stepped down.
No,
fuck off.
That's not the same thing. I feel like you don't know enough about the Roman Catholic Church to be making these statements.
Okay.
No, I'm not about to educate you on this podcast.
That's fine. You can educate the rest of the world on your own podcast. Speaking of, like, so what do you think about, like, the royal family thing going on?
I don't care about it.
See, I don't at all.
It's not important.
I just
I
care
don't
that, like,
care.
Like, it's my favorite thing, like, it's always the same segment of people.
Yeah.
Where it's like, America's the best ever, and then they're like, the fucking royal family. It's like, if you think America's the best ever, we figured that out like 250 years ago, that we don't give a fuck about those people.
Yeah, and it's worked out really well for us.
It's been
so
great.
Far. I was being very sarcastic.
I know, but then you, like, my favorite part of it, and that it's not like an angle that I've seen really anybody take, because everybody wants to be like, good for them, and it's like, yeah, the rich kids who you paid for their entire life are leaving their giant house. Fine, great. They're not like royal members. They weren't going to be king and queen. They were inconsequential to the world, period. But the angle before what's-her-face went over there and married him was like, this chick is going to come in here and like ruin all the traditional values that the royalty's about. And 2 years later, they're just like, yeah, we're out. Like, nobody's like taken, like, did somebody write them an apology card for calling them like racist and like assholes because like they're like, this American chick's gonna come in here and like ruin everything and like break up the royal family and like it's gonna be a big thing, and everybody's like, it won't be a thing, and 2 years later it's now a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And now everybody's just like, good for them, they're making a path on their own. Which one? They're not making a path on their own. It's like a rich kid who decides not to work for their dad's company. Like, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be set. They're going to fucking Canada, which is like England light, to hang out, like, with Trudeau and...
Is that where they're going?
Yeah. They're all gonna hang out, be in blackface, like, it's gonna be fun.
Why do they have to leave the country?
I think they want to just go to Canada. Like, they don't want to be under the umbrella of the royal family.
I feel like from, like, a security perspective, like, I wouldn't exactly, if I were Justin Trudeau, I would not exactly be keen on...
He probably loves it, because it's going to be like, look at Justin Trudeau taking care of, like, the prince who doesn't want to be in there anymore, and his wonderful wife, and their new baby, and now they can wear Louis Vuitton instead of, like, royal stuff.
Royal stuff?
She had to wear hats everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can't live under that oppression, you know? Like, you can't have your entire life paid for and then have to wear hats everywhere. It's just that you can't.
Like, but that's like such bullshit, dude. Like, you're literally what was she, a princess, right?
Yeah, dude.
Like, you are a princess.
Everybody grows up wanting to be a princess.
You get it, and you're there for 2 years, and you're like, I'm actually gonna go.
Yeah, like, I'm out.
Like,
I tried being a princess. I just liked this ginger fuck, and now we're out. Like, let's go to Canada to chill for a while.
Sinful. That's what it is.
She was married before. That's a sin. Getting divorced. Tearing up the family, dude.
In theory.
What else is new with you?
I think that's pretty much it.
That's all that you brought.
What else do you have?
Oh, Jesus Lord. I'm just... Back hurts from... I bought a massage chair for my car.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I drive a lot, and, like, I don't know, my back was starting to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh... Like, I have Amazon, and they make, like, those car seat massagers. They gotta be cheaper than they were back in the day. You can get them for, like, $45 in your car. And, like, it plugs into the cigarette lighter, and, like, your back feels good while you're driving. It's got a heated seat, which has been great the last couple days.
I already have heated seats.
I'm sure you do. But I also feel like I'm 107 years old when I'm driving with my massage chair, because I'll drive 5 miles an hour below the speed limit because, like, it feels like your car is about to fall apart. Like, that's the worst part, is you spend all this money making your car go fine, and then you're just like, I want something to, like, make it feel like my car is rattling the whole time I'm driving. And it scares me. So I'm like, my car is going to fall apart. Especially since, like, the bumper's hanging on with fucking duct tape right now, so.
Isn't it, like, masking tape?
It's not even real duct tape. And it's held up pretty well.
So okay.
I mean, I've got the stuff. It's been cold.
Sure.
I can't fix it.
Okay.
When it's cold out.
Alright.
I also don't know how, so I'm going to have to YouTube that.
Don't you just replace the clips and...
It's like, there's like a piece I have to put underneath there, and then I have to, like, clip the bumper back up.
Oh.
I don't know. Have you been following Antonio Brown at all?
No.
Dude, that's going to be your legit homework for the next 2 weeks, is you have to follow Antonio Brown on Twitter, because it is the best. Like, if you think O.J. Simpson is wild on Twitter, Antonio Brown's like, here, hold my beer. Like,
Really?
Oh, dude. He's decided to start his own rap career. So, Antonio Brown, the wide receiver from the NFL, who's, like, got kicked off of teams because of, like, domestic abuse charges.
Yeah.
Just being all around an insane person. He started his own rap career, and he's coming out with a CD called No More White Women 2020, or No White Women 2020, something like that.
Okay.
Which isn't a terrible idea. I mean, everybody should kind of adopt that, because we're out here, we don't need white women in 2020.
Okay. I'm not, okay.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I don't think Kelly listens to this anyway, so you can go, but whatever. So he's got rap songs.
Mm-hmm.
They're terrible. But the biggest thing is his baby mom is a white woman, and she came over to drop the kids off, or, like, switch over the kids at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And he decides to call the police on her, saying that she's trying to steal one of his cars that she just, like, owns, because he bought her the car to transport his kids. And so he live streams the whole thing on Instagram Live of him yelling at the police, and the police that he called to his house.
Okay.
He called them there. So
Yeah.
we got to start with, he called them there.
Yeah.
He's yelling at them, yelling at his baby's mom, in the middle of, like, the neighborhood. Like, it's the middle of the day in, like, a nice neighborhood in Florida, with his children there, calling her a bitch, like, yelling at the cops, like, this is what happens when the cops deal with black people. And it's like, you're the one who called the cops, you dumb asshole.
Okay.
And they're, like, making sure that you're not berating this poor woman who's, like, just picking up your children in the car that you bought her. And then, I'm assuming he's sponsored by that Bag of Dicks company, because he's sitting there throwing those gummy dicks at the police on Instagram Live.
So he got arrested?
No!
What?
He didn't get arrested. He's berating the police that he called to his house, and he's throwing shit at them, talking about how, like, this is just another, the cops against black people, and he's throwing shit at him and doesn't get arrested, and then he's like, I'm the victim. And then, like, it's all on, and so, it's crazy, first of all. Second of all, since he's not in the NFL, he doesn't have a place to train anymore. So, like, the police department down there has, like a Little League field that they, like, let him work out at that he donated to. And he showed up, like, the next day to go work out, and they're like, here's your check back. If you come here again, we're arresting you. Like, so they kicked him out of where he's allowed to work out and everything because of it.
That's a shit show.
Yeah, dude.
That's a shit show.
And it's all live on the internet. Like, it wasn't like
I didn't see any of this.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, you know how people can, like, edit things where it's just like, this is what happened, but, like, they started at the spot that makes them look good.
Yeah.
He just did the whole thing. So anybody can just be like, what are you doing, bro? What kind of situation do you think you would have to be in for you to, like, completely snap like that?
I don't even know what it would take for me to get to that level of stupidity. I hope I never find out, because I would probably get shot in the face.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't happen. I think a lot of it, and I think it kind of goes with my, like, wanting to pick on Democrats and liberal people at the same time. It's every person who's complaining about society is either rich or had rich parents and, like, don't really know how the real world is.
Yeah.
So, like you do pretty well. But if you're yelling at the cops like that and throwing fucking gummy dicks at them, you're in jail.
I'm going to jail.
Forever.
Yeah.
For at least a long time.
If I don't get shot.
Right. And
because those gummy dicks can explode.
Yeah.
You never know. It's dangerous.
That is dangerous. And, I mean, they've shot black people for doing less than that.
Breathing.
And then, fucking Gun Girl. Did you see the Gun Girl video of her yelling at the cops?
Yeah, and that cop was not having it either.
He was, like, do you think Eric Gardner wishes that cop existed in New York?
Yeah.
Because he was very patient with her, and very smart, and, like, not about that bullshit.
Nope.
And my favorite part is, like, because I watched it, and, like, fuck Gun Girl or whatever. It only matters because she's from Kent.
Yeah.
And, he's just, like, and they're, like, at, like, some, gay pride rally or something, like, bugging people.
Something along those lines, yeah.
And the cop's like, hey, maybe you don't come here and get them all riled up. If you, like, obviously you guys don't get along. I was called because you are worried about your safety. Maybe you shouldn't go there. Like, that was, like, his professional, like, it's just common sense, like, hey, don't go there.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're telling me that I shouldn't go there because I'm unsafe? And he's like, yeah, 100%. Like, don't go do dumb shit where dumb shit might happen to you.
Yeah.
But again, she probably had, it just drives me nuts when it's, like, rich, entitled people trying to tell other people how to do it. Like,
yeah,
their world can be a little bit more black and white because, like, mommy can get them out of jail or whatever with a nice lawyer.
Right.
Where the rest of us, it's more of, like, a gray area where, like, you're throwing dicks at the cops. I guarantee you're getting arrested. And in court, they're like, why are you throwing dicks at cops?
Right.
You're just like, I don't know, I'm sponsored by bagadicks.com.
Yeah. I guess.
They could sponsor us.
No, that's okay. I'm good.
Why? Us and Antonio Brown? That'd be cool.
No, I don't need that in my life.
What if we could get Antonio Brown on the podcast?
Don't need that in my life either.
Why?
Because.
That'd be cool. He could do, like, a live recording of his songs.
I don't need that in my life. Producer Paul does not need it in his, and he's shaking his head no. Like,
why not?
Because why would you want to bring such chaos into our lives? I'm a very quiet type of dude, you know what I mean? I like my peace.
That's good. So when I was listening to Eminem today, So I started with Kid Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Only God Knows Why. It's a great jam. Listen to it on your way home. You'll feel it. You'll be like, man, this guy was ahead of his time.
Okay, right on that.
And so then tried listening to Eminem, and I was like, what else was I listening to when I was 14 that I thought was really good? And there was like this playlist that Tidal made for me, and it had a whole bunch of Incubus in it. And I was like, Incubus fucking rocks. They're so good.
Yeah, they're a good band.
But it jogged my memory, and I tried to like make a bit out of it, but like it's hard to explain in a jokey way. But in Algebra 1, my freshman year of high school, so like a while ago, when Incubus was like big, like 311, Incubus.
311 was always garbage, but continue.
Beautiful Disaster is a great song.
That's not even good.
Oh.
Their best song is like Amber, and that's it.
It's a great song.
That's it. Go ahead.
So Incubus. Yeah. So this kid, and I learned like a lot of good music from this guy. John Merlin, if you're out there, look us up. I'm assuming you work at like a Speedway or something, but because you'll understand the story. But like he introduced me to like Jimmy Eat World and stuff like that.
Oh, great.
So like he was like that cool music kid, but he was also like 16 in a class of like 14-year-olds.
Okay.
So he had like failed math so many times. And him and like our math teacher would always get in a big fight because our math teacher was like one of those like aggro math teachers where it's like, you're gonna need this in your life. Like you can't use calculators. You're not gonna get anywhere if you're not good at Algebra 1.
Yeah.
Fine. And just finally the dude, because I was in morning detention with him because I didn't do my homework or something. It doesn't matter. And he's just like, do you know what? I forget what the teacher's name was. But he's like, I don't give a and it was like the coolest thing at the time because like I had never seen somebody talk to an adult like this. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about algebra. All I need in this world is my music and my weed, like my favorite band, like my favorite band, Incubus. And that, like, I'm 14, and this guy's probably in his mid-30s, so he's, like, an adult. Like, he's old. And, like, now that I'm almost to that age, like, could you imagine a child yelling that at you?
Like, I'd be ready to catch a case.
It's like, excuse me, sir. Like, you can't just yell.
Yeah.
Like, but he's like my favorite band, Incubus. And I was just like, wow. And then you're just like, wow, this is pretty. And like, I got out of detention because obviously that kid's in way more trouble, so he wanted to like kick me out of the room.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I want to know what that dude's up to right now. Because that's like a strong stance to make when you're 16.
That is a strong stance to make when you're 16, and I am very interested in it.
But like now, I'm almost 30, and I'm like, you know, he was kind of onto something. Like, I've never used algebra, but I have smoked weed and listened to Incubus a lot since that day.
Cool. He inspired your life, and I'm happy for you.
Like, I should track him down to make sure that I've got, like, make a shrine for him.
You should.
Is there somebody that kind of shaped your life like that? Like, some character that, like, just should not have, like... Because I bet you, like, here's just how weird shit happens. Is, like...
So, real quick, pause. Yeah. When you opened your phone just now, I glanced down, and for whatever reason, my eyes saw your phone background. And it looks just like the Golden Corral logo to me.
How good is Golden Corral, though?
It's terrible.
I know, but like...
That's how you get dysentery.
I was going to say Golden Corral should sponsor us, but that's not going to happen now.
Pass.
Yeah, what if we get the Ponderosa in Warren to sponsor us?
Still a Ponderosa?
Yeah, there's only one. It's in Warren.
Wow.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, we get... I mean, I'm in
That's
Warren
like damn near historical.
Historical, yep.
That's wild.
But no, like, so, even though I went to, like... I mean, it was a nicer suburb, and, like, it's... Like, you can still kind of piece together a decent life out of doing whatever. But, like, he probably is, like, married with, like, children, working, like, some mid-level management job somewhere. Like, is there somebody that you went to high school with that you can kind of, like, think, like, what the fuck are they up to because they were just wilding in high school? That's not elsewhere.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I can't really think of anybody that like made that big of an impact on me. There was this one crazy dude. We called him Ham.
Yeah.
Because that was his last name.
His whole last name was Ham?
Hamm.
So that... We called him Ham because that was his last name.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad that you explained that to us.
And his first name was Chris, but he went by his middle name, which was Ryan.
Okay.
It was a whole thing. But,
those are always the weird people.
Yeah, I wonder about him every now and then, just like, what's he up to?
Was his dad's name Chris, and you didn't like him? Okay.
Yeah, that's...
do you like him?
I am 100% positive that his dad's name was also Chris.
That's like a trope of person, where they're like, I hate my dad so much, I'm going to go by my middle name.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be called by the same name.
Wow.
Did you, like, light fires or something?
He did a lot of weird shit. And the one time he I don't remember what our teacher was doing. This had to have been like a math class or something. She had like stepped out of the room or something like that. And he was like supposed to be doing a problem on the board, and he was. She steps away, and all I know is I looked up and this dude had his whole ass pants down, and he was just like dancing around and flapping his wiener all over the place. And I will never forget that.
Was there a song involved?
No, it was like and there were chicks in the room, and everybody was just like, Ham, come on, put your fucking pants on, please.
There was a dude like that. So he was like, remember like when I mean, you're a little bit younger, but like when like pop punk started getting like real popular,
yeah.
And like, dude, I mean, I bet you this is Paul in high school. I can guarantee it. He had like before they made like skinny jeans for dudes, like guys would buy like girls' pants.
Yeah.
And this dude like he would come in and like his whole ass would be hanging out because they didn't have skinny jeans for guys, and that was like the look.
Yeah.
Like he was super big into Fall Out Boy, like when
yeah.
Which I liked Fall Out Boy as much as the next guy, but like
sure.
Not enough to buy girls' jeans.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, my dick doesn't fit in here, and like his whole ass would be out all the time just because he wanted to wear skinny jeans.
Yeah. And
you're just like, but he was like the coolest person because you were like, this guy, like, he doesn't give a damn, and then he's like, he doesn't give a shit about sociology today. He's so cool. And then you're like, oh no, his parents weren't there. Like,
yeah.
That's all it was.
Oh god, that's funny.
That's there's just weird people. Like, I don't know if my high school was just different, but like we had a bomb scare, like when bomb threats were like real big.
Mm-hmm.
We had a kid, like they caught the kid like instantly because he
Yeah.
was dumb about it. He like wrote a bomb threat in the girls' bathroom. Like he snuck into the girls' bathroom, wrote a bomb threat, and they caught him instantly. Like they caught him doing it, and he was just like a big idiot. Like it wasn't like
Yeah.
a real scare or anything. Like he just wanted the day off of school.
Yeah.
And like all these people were like, oh, it's a bomb threat. Like we need to have the day off. I had a shirt, like it was like a hunting shirt that had like a bullseye on it. So I wore that to school the day that like the whole thing was supposed to go down. I got in a lot of trouble. But like now he's just like a normal person with like a life. Like every once in a while you'll see it and they're like, this is gonna ruin your life.
Nah, he's fine.
He's just perfectly fine.
Probably got kids by now.
Like he ended up in the service.
Yeah.
Like and they were just like, yeah, you can come here, like hang out. Now he's like got a good job.
Good
Like
for
it's
him.
just so funny. Like all the things that you're so terrified of
Wow.
when you're that age of like ruining your life.
Yep.
Because like there was a big party that I didn't go to because I didn't party in high school. But like all the kids who were in like National Honor Society right before graduation, they just had like a big raging party that got busted by the cops because there's nothing going on. And they stripped all these kids of like their National Honor Society stuff, and like all these kids were like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life now that I don't have National Honor Society. And I was like, you still have a 4.0 GPA. You already
a job.
Yeah, like you've already got your scholarship to like
Yeah.
fucking OU or whatever dumb bullshit school you're gonna go to.
Yeah.
Like your life's not gonna change because you don't get a fucking sticker on something.
Right.
And like now they're all making good money. They're all smart still, and you're just like, none of it matters. Like you shouldn't. Yeah. Like I got, and it kind of what jogged me is I was in Acme after I got my haircut the other day, and this chick was talking about how she like failed her algebra test, and it was like a real adult like in front of me, and then like it was like high school kids, and there's like a real adult checking out, then me, and it was like younger dude, younger girl, and like the girl's like, yeah, I failed my algebra test, and the guy's like, I thought you were gonna cheat on the algebra test. Like you can just see like the person in front of me just getting more and more angry that these kids are like talking like this. And the girl's like, yeah, I cheated, but like the person I cheated off of got a B+. I just didn't cheat off of all of them. I cheated off of the ones I didn't think that I knew, and those were the ones I got wrong. And like the guy in front of me goes, well, maybe you should study next time, like learn some work ethic, and then like marches off, like to like these strangers at the Acme, like they're not his kids, and who gives a fuck? Like they're making $6 an hour or whatever it is now. And then like the dude asked me, like the cashier guy, he's like, what do you think about it? And I was like,
I don't care.
Yeah, who cares, dude? Like just drop out of school now. Like it doesn't.
It does not matter.
Like excuse me? I was like, yeah. Like, I've got my bachelor's degree in political science, like, and he's like, what do you do with that? And I was like, nothing. No, absolutely
that's
nothing.
That's the point.
Yeah, I buy scrap metal. Like, that's, he's like, that's all? And I was like, I do comedy, too. And he's like, are you good at it? And I was like, I guess, but, like you don't.
Why did you get so fucking deep with this kid?
I don't know. Because he has to be there, and, like, he asked me, so, like, I'm going to impart my wisdom on this child.
Was he white with glasses?
100%.
Like, a little chubby?
No.
Oh. I was wondering if you like saw yourself in him.
If he was like younger and chubby and he kind of looked like me, I'd be like, hey man, take a walk around the block because it is gonna be rough for you once you hit college. Like yeah, like the freshman 15 is a real thing, but when you're already starting 50 pounds overweight, it's not a good look.
Yeah. We can't all have the bodies of gods.
Yeah, dude, like, when I went into college, I was, like, a solid 220, played rugby, I could run, like, 8 years. Yeah, dude. And, like, I had, like, a little bit of a gut, but then now I'm just, like, you gain the freshman 50 or 60, and then you're just stuck with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I've been chipping away at mine here and there over the past few years. But
you should do the diet bet.
No, that's okay.
Shout out to Jay Ballo for winning our diet bet case. You don't know what any of this is because you don't care.
Yes, I do. I followed all of it. I didn't know his name, but congratulations to you, sir.
Yeah. But,
I feel like you think...
I'm going to talk out of school a little bit, because fuck it. So, we'll end on, like, my last story. This is my favorite Jay Ballo story, because, like, I met him through a kid I went to high school with. He was roommates with somebody I went to high school with at Kent. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be a little ambiguous on the facts here, but his roommate was dating this girl, and it was like Sibs weekend, so like all the siblings came, and like she had a younger sister that was like just about to graduate high school, so it was all like legal, but like it was the Ohio State Wisconsin game in like 08, 09, so we're all sitting there, and like, so she brought her sister who was about to graduate and go into college, and then like she had like a step sibling that was like 7, and so she's like, all right guys, you can like, she can hang out, like the older one can hang out with you guys, but make sure she doesn't get too drunk and nobody try to bang my sister. And we're like, solid, like no problem at all, like it's my buddy's girlfriend's sister, I'm not worried about it at all. But we're not gonna try to bang her, we're just gonna get her just tanked. And so she ended up drinking so much, like it was me, Jay, and my buddy Shane, and we get this chick so drunk, she ends up shitting herself, like, and like we all just like left. So I don't know, it's past, like, nobody like did anything else nefarious, but like we got her.
Anything else?
Yeah, I mean nothing like illegal. I mean, I guess it was illegal.
It's highly illegal.
We were a bunch of children drinking. Like, it wasn't, like, we shouldn't have been, we were all 18, and she was, like, 17 and a half. So, like, we were like, fuck it. Like, she's one of us. Like, let's get her tanked. Okay. And so, like, that's why this chick broke up with my buddy, and...
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, I ran into, because I was, like, kind of friends with Jay. And I like ran into him like a couple weeks later, and he's like, shit went downhill after you left. So like I went back to my dorm, and he's like, yeah, she was like crying and like shit herself and wouldn't stop throwing up. And then like the girl broke up with my other buddy, and I was like, wow. And he's like, yeah, it's good that we didn't, like, because we're like just feeding this chick beers to just get her, like, don't leave us in charge of another person's life.
No, that was, no.
Why?
Do not try to negate responsibility for that poor girl.
Why?
You did something terrible. All of you did. And you should all be ashamed of yourself.
She was almost an adult. She was the same age as we were.
Nope.
Like, we had 3 weeks of college experience compared to this chick who was about to go into college.
You took advantage of her innocence in a non-sexual way.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's, like, looking at it 10 years later, you're like, a lot of things could have went sideways.
Yeah, that could have been terrible.
But that's a lot, like, I mean, I don't know, that's fun. Because it happened to me, like, you just kind of, when it's somebody's first time at a college party, you just, like, you're like, yeah, we're going to make sure that you don't die, but we're going to get you real close. Like, it's not...
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So this has been Classy Dinner Podcast.
This has been a weird one.
This has been a weird one.
Feels like pulling teeth. Maybe you should prep more next time.
Are you joking?
No.
Maybe you should be funnier.
That's true. I was not that funny last night. It's really been fucking with me.
Yeah.
I mean,
bothering you?
I was pretty good. Like, I had them for a while, like, making... Like, the KY story was funny. It helped a lot.
Yeah.
I told them that they should get into shape. Like, they love that. But then, like, as soon as I started telling jokes, they're like, we don't know what any of this is. And I was like, I understand that we're in the middle of nowhere, but it's also 2020, and I know you get the internet because I'm on your Wi-Fi. Like, you need to be more into Twitter and less into lubing up cats. But what did we learn today, Josh?
I don't know. What is the lesson of the day?
I don't know. What is the lesson of the day? No more white women 2020.
Mm-hmm. Ray really likes Golden Corral.
I do like Golden Corral. I haven't been there in a while. Ryan's was way better. Do you remember Ryan's?
No.
It's where Golden Corral is now on Arlington. They got bought out. It was way better.
Oh, okay.
Ponderosa's still good. I stop there every time I'm in Warren, so Ponderosa, look me up if you want to.
All 3 of their stores across
There's
the globe.
one. I'm telling you.
There's literally
it's
only
the
one.
one.
Is it a franchise?
I think it's franchised, but it's like the last Blockbuster when there was one in Alaska
yeah.
forever.
I think it's still there, right?
I think they closed it down in 2016.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I found out the other day because I was like, where do they get their videos?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, do they go to the Walmart $5 bin
Yeah.
and then just hope other people will like rent them?
Yeah.
And
That's
then
interesting.
and I was like, I wonder how they do. So I did some research, and they were like, they closed in 2016. I was like, well, apparently they didn't get them anywhere. So
That sucks.
I know, but it's such is life in our wonderful capitalism and everything to do with industry. And do we love industry, Joshi?
We love it.
All right, let's cheers to industry.
Cheers.
That was a rough one.
There's another Ponderosa in Hudson, by the way.
Shut up.
Yep.
No, there's not.
Yep.
Are you
Right.
kidding?
Pass it every time I go to the theater.
There's 6 within 100 miles.
Yeah.
Somebody lied to me then.